Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of Segments with Mark and Amber. Segments is a comedy, entertainment, and news podcast where in each episode, Amber and I will enter the Segments pub, grab a beverage, and compete head-to-head in a classic game of pub trivia. My name is Mark, and with me, as always, is the Bob Costas of pub trivia. It's Amber.
That's me.
So, Amber, tell me two famous things about Bob Costas. I've pulled him up here already. So.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I wrote this rundown and trying to think of a sports figure,
A sportsman.
that maybe was not a player, and that's the first name that came to mind. And I wasn't sure if it was a plural on the Costas or Costa, but I thought the S sounded better.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were right.
I would say I was hoping he was like maybe a sports commentator or
yeah, I think that's true. This says sportscaster.
Caster. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is he from the United States or is he from Canada?
Oh.
You don't even
No
know.
idea.
No, he's an American sportscaster, Amber,
Okay.
obviously. He was born in
41.
Oh, Amber, 52.
Oh.
Yeah. So I feel like if you're going to use these, you need to know who these people are. I'm just calling you out here.
Is he still alive?
He is still alive.
Good job,
and
Bob.
here is a question that popped up when I searched him. How much is he worth?
Oh, yeah. How much is he worth?
Amber, do you have a guess of
I'm
his
gonna
net
guess
worth?
$23 million.
Oh, he's actually worth $50 million.
Wow. That's
So,
amazing.
He's doing good. Now he's a baseball man. He's
Remember
doing baseball now.
Early on in the history of segments, you asked me how much a child actor made, and I way overguessed.
I barely remember
Now
that.
I underguessed.
Well, who knows? I wonder if you should have gone into sportscasting instead of preschool teaching.
Maybe. Maybe it would be like a fresh take on sports. A girl who doesn't know what's happening.
I think we're going to prove that when we get to our
Somebody
sports
who
ball trivia today.
asks all the questions that the watchers have but are afraid to ask in the party. Like,
Yeah.
it feels like that guy just bumped another guy. Wouldn't that be a foul? I don't know.
I remember watching golf with my Grandpa DeBoer. And Grandpa DeBoer was kind of a mysterious gentleman. Didn't talk a lot, but he was always around. And I remember watching golf with him one time, and I just remember him saying, "Why don't they hit that thing in the hole?"
Oh, maybe they didn't know that's what they're supposed to do.
So
I remember golf being on at my grandparents', and it was like exciting because the television was on, and there was nothing else to do there. But man, you just couldn't make it interesting.
yeah, it's
All the quiet talking and the flipping back and forth from player to player, and
yeah.
it's very hard to be interested in that,
Yeah.
even as an adult, but as a child especially.
Yeah, I should have you listen. My former seminary professor, Dr. Tim Gombis, does a podcast, and he went on and on about the Masters and about how important the Masters are and how great they are and how exciting they are. And I'm just like, and I agree with Tim on a lot, but this one I was just like, oh man, I'm not seeing it.
Huh.
So it really threw him that the Masters happened in the fall and not the spring this year.
Is that what was on at your dad's? I felt real bad. Whatever we were watching, Tiger Woods was not doing well, and so that's hard for me to watch people not do well.
Yeah, you love Tiger and
Well,
tigers.
Yeah.
Awesome. Amber, why don't you, this has been kind of our new thing where we just ramble at the beginning. I
Ooh.
like it.
Okay.
It's kind of this kind of cool, like, we're just a couple of cool people hanging out and chit-chatting.
Yeah. So for any listeners we haven't lost yet, just kidding. I expected a laugh from you there,
I'm
but
sorry.
I thought I'd provide it. Okay. After 25 short weeks, we are back with the next round of our pub trivia. This is a pub trivia season, and in this season, we're going to have 10 rounds with 10 questions in each round. Each episode will be one round. The player who wins the player with the most points wins that round.
Okay.
It's a crazy thing we decided there.
Mm-hmm.
The player with the most points wins. It's not like golf.
I wish it would have gone the other way.
The winner of the most rounds after 10 rounds will be crowned the segment's pub trivia champion.
Yes, and last week or whenever that last episode dropped, we talked about my sourness to this whole trivia thing, and I apologize about that.
It's okay.
I want to say that it is probably going to happen again.
Okay.
Just putting it out there.
Okay.
So it's my threeness, my Enneagram threeness. I want it to be seen as impressive. And so what we're doing is broadcasting my lack. So it's a cool thing. It's probably healthy.
If we can try to entertain people with the lack, though,
that's right.
Then it's still a success.
That's what we're going for.
We want to thank laughgaff.com for the trivia questions. We did not come up with these ourselves because then, of course, we would know the answers. At the end of each episode, we're going to ask a question for the listeners. Each correct answer will be placed in a hat for the opportunity to win an exciting prize at the end of season 2. And who knows what year that will be. Thank you for the laugh on that one.
The problem is that we have no idea what this exciting prize will be, and so we have to make this. We just really need to stretch.
Oh, that's what we're doing. Yeah, then the exciting prize will reveal itself.
Exactly.
Stick around after the trivia, because then you'll hear Mark and Amber's What's Making Me Happy segment and a new segment called Google News.
We decided, right, Amber, that it's technically called Google Discover.
True.
But that doesn't sound as cool.
No, it's like a space shuttle.
I wanted it to be that's a bad one. So it was the bad one, right?
The bad Challenger was bad.
Oh, that was Challenger. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, Discovery's good then. Okay. Well, then we can go on with that. But I liked this idea that we were really providing news. And so I like to say Google News. So okay. At this point.
All right. That sounds good. If you want to contact us or leave feedback, you can always find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at SegmentsCast or email us segmentscast@gmail.com.
Amber took that away from me in the rundown. I did such a bad job of saying where you could reach us that I was completely removed from the process. Man. Good news, Amber. We've got some feedback. We always love that. Why don't you hit us with that?
Oh, this made me so happy. Thank you to Amy, listener from Maryland, Baltimore. Something like that. East Coast Amy? East Coast Amy, we call her. Mm-hmm. Thank you for the new broadcast, she said. I was wondering if y'all were okay. Yeah. She said peaks and valleys. Peak was we all got COVID mid-March, and it's allowed us to be able to... Oh, this is a peak. It's allowed us to be able to do things to help others that some might not feel comfortable with. Because, you do have that period of immunity that they're pretty sure about.
Oh, see, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
You said this is a peak, and then they said we all got COVID.
Right.
And
it's a tricky peak.
Well done.
Yeah.
I love that.
John works from home and still has a job. Wonderful.
Nice.
Found out we're going to be grandparents next May.
Hello.
So that's exciting. They're only slightly ahead of us in the age of their kids. So that means who knows? We did more traveling. What?
We both said who knows at the same time, so I said Jinx, buy me a Coke.
Okay. We did more traveling this year, again, because we had the virus, so they were past that. My faith in God has completely flipped around after watching American Gospel on Netflix.
Oh, really?
Do you think that means she no longer believes in God?
I don't know.
Okay, I think we need to watch that,
I guess
probably.
So. I
can't
imagine that's the case.
I love you, Amy. Valleys, we all got the virus, and now we have post-COVID syndrome. We're all struggling with loneliness and depression. Hooray for telehealth therapists. Yeah, it's
absolutely.
rough. Last week, my father and then my uncle died from COVID complications.
Sorry.
Amy, I'm so sorry. I did read this earlier. I feel like we were light here at the beginning of this comment, but of course, we have super compassion there for that.
Absolutely.
Both got it from staff in nursing home and assisted living. Yuck. What's in her Google News that left her scratching her head? This was great. Thank you for answering all our questions, Amy. She said, a story about Demi Lovato and a turkey.
Oh,
so
man.
She's got Demi where you've got, what's her name?
Oh, what's her name?
Kelly Ripa.
Kelly Ripa.
Oh, boy.
Kelly's been out of my news feed the last week or so.
So clicked less enough in there to get her out.
Finally figured out.
Or maybe she just hasn't done anything.
Could be.
She said, I don't follow anything of hers, meaning Demi Lovato. So who knows where that came from. The other story was about China and some new weather equipment. Interesting.
I saw that too.
Oh, you and Amy have a
It's
similar something in your algorithm?
The title made it sound like it was some sort of weather control device, and I guess I didn't want to find out that it wasn't that, so I didn't read it.
Oh, it sounds like maybe she didn't either.
Yeah,
she didn't give us any details, so we're just gonna. You want it to be a weather control device?
Yes,
because it sounds awesome, like
it would be awesome,
like a superhero villain.
Well, only supervillains have weather control devices. Yeah. So, and I guess if the shoe fits, I'm just saying.
Maybe it's a mutant, like Storm.
Oh, yeah.
It could be a person.
Yeah, that would
we
be
don't
exciting
know.
as well. I haven't read the story, so.
She said that she's glad we're back, and we're so glad for your comment. Thank you so much. That made my day.
Awesome.
Your mom also. Mm-hmm. I'm just talking a lot.
You are. I'm just letting it go.
Yeah, some verbal feedback that her Google News is all about the royal family.
Interesting.
Which is fun. I would enjoy that. Maybe I need to Google more about the royal family. Say I'm watching The Crown right now, and a lot of people are saying they're Googling along with The Crown to see, like, did that happen in real life? But I only know a little bit about the British royal family, and so I don't want to get spoiled on The Crown. So I have not been Googling. But maybe when it's all over, I will Google what's the same, what's different about The Crown, and then I'll start getting that in my algorithm.
Well, I did see that, and you probably saw this somewhere, and I'm sure I saw it in my feed. I was just thinking that I had it in here. I can't see it. That British people want a disclaimer played at the beginning of The Queen, or whatever it's called.
The Crown.
The Crown, and it says, this is not a true story, or this is not actual events.
I mean, it seems like they should have to do that. These are people that are alive and around right now.
Huh.
I don't know. I mean, there's so much that has been historically based. I don't think a disclaimer would be a bad idea.
Okay.
They do a disclaimer at the beginning of this season saying there's depictions of an eating disorder. So why not also say not everything here is fact?
This is a fictionalized story of factual people.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I've heard there's a lot of controversy. That's what I am curious about, how much of this is real and who they interviewed to get these stories. There's some behind the scenes details that I feel like they wouldn't put in unless they were somehow true. It's very interesting.
Interesting.
I'm enjoying it.
Great. Well, Amber, it is time for us to head into the pub. Amber, it is time to enter the pub. This week it's sports trivia. And,
yeah, it sure is.
And this is going to be bad. Josh said it was going to be bad.
Yeah.
And what I've got here today is a Bell's official Hazy India Pale Ale.
Nice.
And this was left over. This was left over a few weeks ago. Our friend Jamie and Heidi came over, and we watched Hamilton, and it was a great time. And they left a few of these in the fridge, and it's really, really good. It's actually really good. I like it a lot.
Cool. That's a classic-looking can. I am drinking Dogfish Head Sea Quench Ale Session Sour. It's a sour beer, blissfully brewed with lime juice, lime peel, black limes, and sea salt.
Yeah, we really like that.
Yeah.
Apparently we don't love it because we've had it around since June when we went up to Graham and Jill's house. So anyway, so we've got our beverages here. It is time for some trivia.
So we have whiteboards. We let everybody know our setup here. We're going to write down our answers. Josh has already put the correct answers in an envelope because LaughGaff changed their website, and you see all the answers at once when you click on them. So we are just going to go through the questions and then open the envelope and see what answer Josh put in there for us.
Okay. So, Amber, question number 1.
My goal here is to get one question right out of sports trivia.
Okay. How many players are there in a baseball team? How many players are there that think how many are on the... It's got to be on the field, right?
I would hope.
I mean, is this college? I'm going to say it's professional. Would it be different?
I don't know.
It might be
oh, my gosh. All right, I'm ready.
Okay. I said 9.
I also said 9. That's how many innings there are. Is it the same? Innings and players?
Well, I
Is
don't...
9 the baseball number?
The answer was 9.
Okay.
So we got our left fielder, center fielder, right fielder, third baseman, shortstop, second baseman, first baseman, pitcher, catcher.
Yeah, we did it.
Amber was
we both got one right.
We both got one right. Amber was the catcher.
Yes.
On her
Did we have 4 outfielders in softball though?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that is the case. Okay, so
we did it. We got one right.
Got one right. In the sport of judo, not what I was expecting. In the sport of judo, what color belt follows an orange belt? Kurt Mitchell is screaming the answer into the car. After orange, I'm going to guess because I don't really know, but I've
guessed as well.
I've got a guess here.
Okay.
I said blue.
I said purple.
Oh, I like purple. I've actually never heard of a blue belt. I have heard of a purple belt.
They've got to have belts in all the colors.
Well, we're both wrong. It's green.
Really?
Green belt.
Okay.
Never heard of a green belt either.
No, I bet those are early belts. Well, I don't know in judo. Karate, it's black at the end, right? So that's the one everybody wants.
Do you think they just get darker?
No, I just thought if you don't hear about it, like you never hear somebody bragging about getting a blue belt or a green belt. I'm a green belt in judo. Maybe you do if you were actually at the judo studio. I'm sorry if Kurt has finally earned his green belt and we're making fun of it because I'm sure it's an amazing accomplishment.
Very important and good. Okay, question number 3. Tennis star Serena Williams won which major tournament while pregnant with her first child? That is crazy.
That is crazy.
Major tennis tournament, eh? Okay. I said I only know one.
Me too.
Wimbledon.
That's what I also said.
No,
did we spell it the same?
You said you said Wimbledon.
So the only difference is a D.
There's so many differences. Wimbledon is like a town that is from a Disney child's animation TV show with Wibblytown.
Oh no!
Yeah, so guys, I have a real chance here. Dang it! It's the Australian Open.
Oh shoot!
So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Oh my goodness!
Wimbledon. Wibleton is how I spelled it.
The Australian Open. Oh, man, I thought that one was going to kill Amber, but she's pulled through. She's back. I can't believe I didn't get that one. That's really disappointing.
Ooh.
Australian Open. Good for her. Okay. Finally, we're getting to maybe sport that's a little more up our alley. In snooker. How many points were awarded for potting the blue ball? This feels like a Graham question. If I could phone a friend, I might call Graham. In snooker, how many points are awarded for potting the blue ball? I'm going to say... I'm going to go with my first instinct.
Me too. No, I went with my second, actually.
Oh, okay. My first instinct with 3.
Oh, my first instinct with 4, and then I went down to 3.
Okay. My second was 5, but that's not what I wrote. So the answer for number 4 is 5.
Oh, no. Your second instinct was right.
My second instinct. I really wish I would have gotten that one.
It felt like a yard game, and we've played a lot of yard games.
Well, I think it's like pool.
Oh.
Snooker is like pool.
I was picturing more like bocce ball.
Oh.
You've snookered, you snooker.
Oh. This is PG. All right, Amber. Question number 5.
Okay.
The Isle of Man is home to the annual TT motorcycle races. What does TT stand for?
TT motorcycle. Is it ISLE or AISLE?
It's ISLE. The Isle of Man is home to the annual TT motorcycle races. Okay. I think this is it.
Okay.
I said Tiny Tots.
Oh, that's cute. I said Grand Tetons. I don't know what that is, but it has 2 T's in it. Like mountains, maybe.
Okay. Well, let's see what the answer is. Tourist trophy. Tourist trophy.
Okay.
Imagine, though, if it was just little kids on little motorcycles
That's so
just
cute.
riding around in the Isle of Man. If you win, you become a man.
Oh.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Very
but,
cute.
you know, who knows? All right, question number 6. How long is a netball game?
That sounds like something you call it when you don't know what it is.
Yeah. Netball. How long would it be? I'm going to guess.
Okay.
So you've written an answer. So my thought, I wrote a time, a number of times.
I did as well.
And I'm wondering, what if it's like
Innings
or something? Or quarters.
Oh.
You know, there's
Yeah.
something. I wrote 90 minutes.
Oh, that's pretty long. I don't know what this is. I wrote 25 minutes.
Okay.
I'm picturing handball, but it's not, because it would be called that. It's actually, there's something with a net.
Okay. Netball. 60 minutes. That was my
Oh,
first
man.
guess. Okay. Let me just jump over here. Netball is a ball sport played by 2 teams of 7 players. Netball is most popular in many Commonwealth nations, specifically in schools. It looks exact. There's some pictures of netball here. It looks like basketball, but there's not a backboard.
So there's no rackets or anything?
And it looks like the hoop may be in the center. Okay, I don't know. That's pretty interesting. No, that one's on the edge. I don't know. I really wish I would have gotten that. I feel like I had some opportunities here to
you've been
get a
close
win.
a few times.
So, boy, oh boy. Number 7. Which boxer did Mike Tyson beat to win his first world title in 1986? I have thought of somebody who I think is a boxer.
Me too, but I think mine's too recent.
Except now I can't remember his last name. Well, I'm going to go with this.
Okay.
I said Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, wow. That could be good. That could be right.
That could be a person.
That's a person. I said Evander Holyfield.
Oh, I think that's a boxer
he's
too.
Younger, though,
I
than
don't
that.
know. Amber, it was Trevor Berbick.
Never heard of him.
It was Trevor Berbick the whole time. Okay, well, I do feel like those were sports people that we said.
Yeah, we did at least say sports people.
Okay. Which NFL team holds the record for the most Super Bowl appearances? Okay.
All right.
Okay, what I wrote was the New England Patriots.
I also wrote the Patriots.
You stink. My one chance.
First, I wrote the Cowboys. The Patriots are it's my lifetime. It seems like they've been in a lot of Super Bowls.
The answer was the New England Patriots.
Oh, man.
Another chance I had to get a point, and Amber snuck it in there.
I kept picturing the East Coast, but I couldn't remember what they were called.
Well, you've done it.
Yep.
Tom Brady.
Yep.
Okay, number 9. In Major League Baseball, who holds the record for the most home runs? Who holds the record for the most home runs? Baseball players. I will say the one that I know. Because the first one I don't think is the answer.
Okay.
So I'm going to say what my first guess was. This is not what I've written.
Oh, okay.
My first thought was it Pete Rose. He's one of them. But
Yeah.
I think he's a disgraced baseball player.
Mm.
I don't know. So my answer in actuality was Derek Jeter,
Ooh,
a
yeah.
baseball player whose name I know.
He's gotten something.
The other
some
one I
records.
know is Jack Morris. But he was a pitcher. I don't think he was a home run hitter.
That would be amazing if he was.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a baseball player by the name of Sammy Sosa.
Samuel
and I
Sosa.
think he did real good one time, Adam. But I don't know if it was just good like with the Cubs or
Amber, your brother Adam is screaming at the radio right now. He's saying Barry Bonds.
Oh,
Double B. So I always called him Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds. That sounds familiar. I wonder if he was popular when we were in high school.
Yeah, so if I really want to be a baseball fan, I'm going to have to learn about things like this. And now I know it, I guess. So
Never forget.
We've got one.
Remember Trevor Durdick? Is he the one who Mike Tyson beat?
Trevor Burbick?
Burbick. There we go.
Yeah.
See, I'm showing that we're learning it.
Yeah, I see. All right, we got one question. This is my opportunity to take the lead. Which South American country won the first ever soccer World Cup in 1930?
What year?
1930. South American country. Well, if you wrote this and we both get it, neither of us win, but if that's wrong, I'm going to say I have an answer now, Amber.
Okay. My answer is Argentina.
Oh, that's such a good one. I wish I would have went with my other one. I said Peru.
Oh, that's another one.
I had something else written there. I had Brazil written there, but I changed it. Let's see.
It's 2001 or 2004, it looks like, for Barry Bonds. I don't know.
Okay. Uruguay.
What? Never would have guessed that in a million
Uruguay.
years. We are just as bad at sports trivia. Well, we got two.
Okay, but we tied.
Yes, we
Which
tied.
I guess is something.
Yes.
All right.
2-2.
Segment 2. Google News. Google Discover? All right, Amber. Here's our new segment to be named. I like this, what you've written here. Segment 2, WDGTYCO.
Yes. Widgetico.
Widgetico.
Widgetico. What
Just
does Google think you'll click on? Widgetico.
Widgetico. All right. Amber, I believe you started last time, so I'm going to start this time.
Great.
And my story from my Google Discover page comes from The Independent, which I believe is a UK publication.
Okay.
And in this says, the title is Spotify Wrapped, Users Embarrassed as Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton soundtrack dominates end-of-year lists. I'm just going to read some of this. Spotify users have been left embarrassed after Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton soundtrack dominated their 2020 Spotify Wrapped lists. The soundtrack to Miranda's hip-hop musical about U.S. founding father Alexander Hamilton was first released in 2015, but following the musical's arrival on Disney Plus in July, the show has regained popularity. As a result, music fans raced to Spotify to see their most popular artists and songs of the year on Wednesday. It's December 2nd. Many were shocked to see that the soundtrack dominating their most listened to lists.
Why would they be shocked? Shocked seems extreme. If it dominates, then you've listened to it a lot.
Yeah, and so here's some of the tweets.
Okay.
I hate myself.
What?
My Hamilton phase was so apparent, and now my entire 2020 Wrapped is just Hamilton. I was hoping it was going to be Doja Cat. Why? That seems intense.
Yeah.
This guy said, oh, it's a lady. This girl said, I listened to the Hamilton soundtrack a lot this year, and Spotify did this to punish me. She's talking about her thing. This guy, Daniel, said, I basically pay for a subscription to the Hamilton playlist. That's the one. And many users shared screenshots of the amount of time they spent listening to the soundtrack, with one fan commenting, can't get over the fact that I'm in the top 0.05% of streamers of Hamilton. That is so crazy. My top 5 songs are Hamilton as well. And this guy, this will be the last one I read, says, not me listening to Hamilton for 6,780 minutes since it released in July.
Oh, my gosh. That would be fun to see how many hours you've listened to it.
I know. And so I don't use Spotify. I use Amazon Music.
Yeah.
And they don't do a Wrapped thing. But I believe that would be the case for me as well. I listen to it a lot, and I still continue to listen to it a lot. And as Christmas approached, we were setting up Christmas, and I was like, oh, I should probably listen to Christmas music. And I turned on a Christmas station. They're fine, but I'm just like, in my head, I'm thinking, how is this better than Hamilton?
Yes.
And so anyway, what do you think your most listened to would be, Amber?
It would be a podcast. I bet I've chosen to listen to music, maybe an hour total in an entire year.
That is so bonkers.
Just is not.
It's not Amber's jam.
Not my jam.
So Yeah, so yeah, I thought that was
do you
interesting.
think they wrap? Do you think it's always December 1st to December 1st? It seemed early to wrap up the year to me.
I don't know. I feel like maybe it's so that you can enjoy the final month of the year remembering the things that you listen to.
Go back and re-listen. Obviously, share it on every social media platform. People love that.
Yeah. So
People
I really,
love it.
really, this Spotify Wrapped has almost gotten me to subscribe to Spotify.
Yeah,
I really
it's
like
very
it.
clever.
But I don't want to pay $10 a month for it.
Yeah, maybe that's what you're paying for. I was going to say we could try to get Amazon Music to do it, but we're not really paying them, are we?
Not anymore. No, and they don't do it.
Yeah,
It's not cool like that.
But after all the frenzy, especially this year,
Yeah.
why don't they?
I don't know. And I don't want to pay $10 a month just to listen to Hamilton.
When you can listen to it for free.
Let's do it for free. So anyway, so that was a fun story. Amber, what's in your Google News?
Well, this is a story I shared with you a little while back, but boy, does it keep popping up because Google knows that I like it. This is a story about a frozen embryo.
Okay.
And it actually, the first article I shared with you, I think was poorly written, or I just wasn't understanding it because it's not what I thought it was. So when I shared it with you, I reread the articles because it seemed ridiculous. It was saying that it's a 27-year-old embryo, and there's a sister, a biological sister of this 27-year-old that's 27 years old or 29 years old. And then there's this embryo that's been frozen for 27 years that was just born. So it's two sisters that are like 29 years apart. And in the article that I read you, it said they had the same parents. And they have the same biological parents, but they made it sound like the person who gave birth to both of them was the person who created the embryo, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
And I just couldn't understand how it's physically possible to have a child and then wait 29 years and be like, oh, yeah, I think we'll go ahead and use that frozen embryo now that we, for some reason, didn't use all these years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
Okay, but that's not the case. Okay. So they were both created as part of a family that was going through in vitro fertilization, and they were donated back in 1992 to the National Embryo Donation Center, which is a Christian nonprofit in Knoxville that stores frozen embryos that in vitro fertilization parents decided not to use but chose to donate instead, because some couples don't even have or aren't able to create an embryo based on what they have, so they need to use a donated one, but they're still able to carry that pregnancy then. So this family just happened to choose these two embryos, which, man, they said they had like 1 million to choose from, and it was really overwhelming. This couple, Ben and Tina, in February of 2020.
Okay.
Or before that, even for their first one. Anyway, so they for some reason they chose these really old embryos. It just seems like a weird, out of 1 million to choose from. The article doesn't explain why they did that. They said they had to narrow down their choices, so somebody told them to just pick something silly to narrow them down. I was like, did they pick old? But no, they picked them because of their height, because they're kind of short, and so they wanted kids that were also kind of short, I guess. Okay, it's a long article. I'm trying to summarize it.
So it's like you can. So there's these embryos, but they have some. They're not anonymous. They know
have
something
records,
about who it was. That mixed this soup.
Yeah, at least the the biology. I don't think they have names with them, but they have the genetic details or whatever.
Interesting.
So they had a daughter 2 years ago named Emma, I think, in 2017. And then they had also adopted this other embryo, who's her biological sister, named Molly. Okay, this is the first time I realized they're named Emma and Molly.
Oh, that's the name of our kids.
That's hilarious. Those are our daughters' names, listeners. I did not realize that. Maybe that's why it keeps showing up in my feed. They know I like Emma's and Molly's. Anyway, both girls are healthy. So they are, the mom, Tina, who gave birth to these embryos, is 29 years old. So the embryos are 27 years old. So if they would have all been born. She was only 2 when the embryos were created.
That is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. So I keep clicking on the story when I get more details, and they keep sending me more.
Yeah, wow.
So it's cool. They said the embryos really don't have an expiration date. I know that they can be different levels of viability. So they must have just been really strong
Wow.
Presumably, the couple who donated them had other embryos that they already were able to give birth to,
Wow.
and so they donated these extras.
Yeah. And so obviously, and so how does age play into that? I mean, it's not like this. It's not like they're 27-year-olds. They're just been frozen for 27-year-olds.
Yeah, like some teeny tiny part of their cells or DNA or something is 27 years old.
Yeah. Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think so.
Okay, Amber. We are moving into a little segment we call What's Making You Happy Right Now. And I think I went first last time, 7 weeks ago or 25 weeks ago or whenever it was.
Well, we didn't do it last time because our whole episode was what's making us happy.
Yeah, so why don't you go first?
Okay, so I decided to share what's making me happy right now. Hopefully it's not something I talked about back in June.
Who knows?
I don't know. It's called Room Raider. It's an account on Twitter. I think the full account name is Room Raider on Skype or something like that, but nobody's using Skype right now.
Obviously.
So what they do is look at all the different newscasters. Oh, man, I feel like I've talked about this. Do you think I've talked about this?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
Often I will just kind of go somewhere else when you're
He's
talking
busy
for a long time.
thinking about what's making him happy right now. No, I'm just kidding. So a lot of newscasters, people are being interviewed from their homes right now. And so they have their own home, but they're on Zoom.
Okay.
Or Skype.
Okay.
Remote. People are working remotely.
Okay.
So then they go on big TV,
Uh-huh.
and they have a picture of their home behind them.
Uh-huh.
So this account rates what's behind them.
Yeah. Okay. And so it's like what's on their bookshelf.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they give them tips. Now, they are also politically slanted. They will...
Which way?
liberal.
Okay.
So they will give people more points when they are a political person that they agree with. But most of the time, I feel like it is non-partisan.
Okay.
So they will say things like, love the doorway framing, love the plant, add more lighting. And then sometimes the people will respond back and say, hey, I took your advice. I've got a light. And they're like, great. Now you're 8 out of 10 instead of 7 out of 10. But what that has caused me to do is mentally rate the rooms of the people that I'm in Zoom meetings with.
And when Amber says mentally rate, it's actually judge. It's
oh, well, yeah. What else is rating?
Yeah. Just kidding.
fully judging. I had, I think, 5 Zoom meetings on Friday. So I have lots of opportunity to do that. And what I want is for everybody to get in on the game. I want people to be trying because I can tell you right now, they're not. They're not trying. And somebody complimented my background on my last Zoom meeting on Friday because right now it is our fireplace with my tree collection and our stockings, and it looks very festive and Christmas. So, but anytime I set up, I just try to think about what's behind me. I definitely don't want it to be a pile of laundry or something that looks real messy. So sometimes that's tricky to find.
I did that in a way. When I was finishing up my seminary classes online, I moved the desk in a way. But anytime I'm a work Zoom, it's just like it
doesn't matter.
It's the full on real Mark Morris.
So yeah, it's probably that I'm just a try-hard and I should just relax and not worry about that. But I think it's fun. And I was in a Zoom meeting with I think 60 people. It was 2 full screens, and I went through everyone's, and there's no way I wouldn't have won.
Well,
if that was a competition.
That's good.
Or if I could at least have a close friend on there with me that we could text each other back and forth about people's backgrounds and kind of rate them. Like, boy, they could really use some better lighting, or why do you think they chose to sit in front of that garbage bag?
Yeah. Okay. So a couple of things that I'm thinking of is, first of all, I want to just tell you that I think it is valid to want to have a good background. I think aesthetics, think of somebody like Justin Sprung, right? You know that if he's ever on a Zoom call, his background is meticulous and perfect, and it is mid-century.
Yes,
beautiful.
Their house is full of excellent backgrounds.
Oh my goodness,
yes.
It's only excellence there. And so I think there's value because we all love to be in a space that is pleasant and well put together. A little thing I call feng shui.
Oh, do you?
So I think that's good. And this is my advice to you. People often, what your spouse wants is advice. And so they're asking, so they might sound like they're talking and not asking for advice, but what they're asking for is advice.
Just solved my problem already.
So, Amber, what I think you should do is pick a friend.
Okay.
Somebody that you're on a lot of Zoom meetings with.
Okay.
And you share with them the Room Rater feed.
Okay.
And then organically you say something like, "Oh man, did you see that tweet last week?" And they said, "Yeah." And all of a sudden you're doing it.
Okay.
You're in.
That might work.
I think it would work. So, what was that, Amber? What's making me happy? Well, what's making me happy is that I received a package in the mail this past week. And it was addressed to Reverend Mark Morris,
which we don't usually get.
It's just, and at I guess I won't say my address out loud.
Two numbers off.
It was similar to my address, but not quite. And the return address was some bookseller in Texas. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I wonder who sent me this. And so I opened it up, and it is just a book. No note.
Yeah.
No anything. And it's this book that is actually on my list of books that I want. It's called Salvation by Allegiance Alone by Matthew Bates. The foreword is by Scott McKnight. So,
whoa.
And it's just... Anyway, so I'm really excited about this book, but I don't know who sent it to me. So there's a person out there that says, I love Mark. I know what he likes. I'm going to send him anonymously this book.
I know he's a reverend.
I know he
lives on this street, and it's similar to this number.
Okay, I should say, I love Mark. I don't know him super well. I don't know, and we're distantly related, but I want to send him this great book by Michael Bates. Or Matthew Bates, excuse me.
Interesting.
So, I'm pretty excited about that. So if you, listener, sent me that book, thank you so very much.
Yes.
I love it.
I like the mystery of it. I'd also like the answer of who sent it.
So,
it's okay that you got our address wrong.
It's fine. Keep
it came
sending
to us.
me stuff.
Somebody had written Morris ? Or something like that on it and put it in our mailbox. So
no, not Morris ? They put our actual address number.
Oh, sure, that makes sense.
So and so I think the post office has gotten a lot of bad kind of publicity this year, and so I just want to say, hey, USPS, thanks for finding me. Thanks for getting me that book.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Good job.
This is a quick one, Amber, as our time is running long here.
All right.
I know we've got more stuff to get to. The other thing that's making me happy right now are these Sharpie pens.
Oh, those are nice.
I'm super into them right now.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, this is a Sharpie pen fine. It's a fine, what do you call it?
Tip.
Fine tip. And I've switched. So as listeners know, I'm a Passion Planner user. And I have for 3 or 4 years only used pencils, mechanical pencils in my planner. And I just was like, man, what I'd love to do is try using a pen. The problem with a pen is that you can't erase, obviously.
No.
That's the problem.
Do you run into that a lot, though, that you wish you could?
Not a lot, but
Okay.
enough that it makes me go, ugh. Because I don't want to scratch things out in my planner.
Mm-mm.
But I've been using it. I love it. And I ordered some. I gave Amber one.
That was really nice of you. It inspired a whole debate between us about what is the ideal fine point.
Amber likes the large. She's like, if she could get like a super jumbo Sharpie,
No.
and she would use that for everything.
I just like a real solid thick line that really shows up. But what I realized is because these are a felt tip kind of marker that it does really show up even though it's thin.
Yeah.
But my choice is a clicky blue pen with a lot of ink. It's
a
probably going to
smear.
smear.
Like a 1.0?
I don't know. I can't remember what it is.
So, I think you like a 1.0, and I'm like, that is too much.
I don't want it to smear. I just want it to think it's going to smear.
It's always going to smear. It's always going to smear. I also don't normally, I'm not going to write with a fine pen. Not interested. No, thank you. Give me a medium. If it's just like a Bic or whatever, give me a medium.
Oh, okay.
But if it's this, it has to be fine.
Okay.
There we go. Guys, what pens are you using?
What's the the best pen out there.
So I feel like this episode, like we asked a lot of questions, and Amy is just like, I gotta answer.
Oh, I love you, Amy.
And it's gonna
Please
be
do
like,
that.
It's
Please
gonna be
take
like 4
notes.
paragraphs
Yes.
long. Of like, you asked so many questions this week.
If you had the exact same pen, same thickness, same ink quality, not this Sharpie, but just a regular old pen, blue or black, which way do you go?
Boy, that's interesting. I guess black.
Really?
Yeah, I'm black. I'm just trying to think. So I was super into G2s for a while, and I always used black ones.
Really?
Though when I was doing Hebrew or Greek interpretation back in seminary, I would use black, blue, red, and green. So I got a 4-pack. But if I'm just writing, I'm just using black.
Okay. I would a blue, 1,000%.
I figured it was green.
No. I like how you worked seminary in there, though. It would be kind of like your Harvard.
Yeah.
When I was in seminary studying Hebrew and Greek, I needed multiple colors of pens.
I just feel like there's people out there that don't realize I'm super smart and I'm a valuable person. And look, Dad, I matter.
Okay. Okay. We just got to the bottom of it, folks. All right. Well, we want to wrap this up by doing our listener question. 25 weeks ago, on June 10th, we asked people to name 6 films with a sports theme. And we got some good feedback.
Got some great feedback here, and people listening are going to be excited to finally hear their feedback. Amber, let me talk for a minute.
Please do.
Amber's talked a lot this episode, and we all love it.
Yeah.
So Adam, friend of the show, Adam, said 8 Men Out, The Fan, For the Love of the Game, Bottom of the Ninth, Mr. 3000, Mr. Baseball, The Natural, and The Rookie.
That was 8.
I have seen 0 of those movies.
I don't know. I've seen The Rookie, I feel like. Maybe The Natural. Are those all baseball?
I have no idea.
Who could know?
Adam, great job. We don't know if this is a real list or not. I've not seen these movies. All right, Amber, you do the next one.
Next up, sister-in-law Bobby Joe. Oh, this is a Shockley family answer, so she must have got some help out there. We've got Bull Durham, A League of Their Own, Field of Dreams, Rookie of the Year, Angels in the Outfield, and Major League.
Okay. Amber, I've seen 2 of these. Guess which ones?
A League of Their Own and Field of Dreams.
Correct.
You never saw Major League? That's kind of a funny... I feel like I saw that as like a drive-in double feature with Naked Gun or something.
Did you live in the 1960s? What are you talking about? A drive-through double feature?
Drive-in, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe it was Major League 2. Did they have Charlie Sheen? I don't know.
Who knows? I don't technically, or that's not the right word. I don't tend to go watch sports movies.
Okay. I didn't know where you were going. And neither do I.
Okay. Tara said Miracle. Never heard of it. Bend It Like Beckham. Soccer. Never saw it, but soccer. Dodgeball.
Nice.
Now there is one that I've seen. These are stretches. 8 Seconds. Moneyball. A Knight's Tale.
Jousting?
Tara, let's think about that a minute. A Knight's Tale. Is jousting a sport? Yeah, I think it is.
I would say so, but is the movie sports themed?
Is it sports themed
I would
or
say
is it
it's-
romance themed?
Yes, that's what I would say. Moneyball, I feel like it's sports themed.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen it because it seemed boring because it's sports themed.
I think it is
Yeah.
because the whole thing, it begins and ends with people jousting.
Oh, wow. Do you remember that, really?
No.
Okay.
But I feel like that could be
And there's definitely a
real,
joust.
No, I think the whole thing is about jousting.
Really? No idea.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Tara, if you could let us know some more information about that would be really helpful.
There's 2 versions of 8 Seconds. One is what I thought it was, which is a bull riding movie that stars Luke Perry, which I do believe that counts.
Yeah.
And then the other one, is it just a remake because it was so great? In 2015? Nope. This is somebody living 2 parallel lives as a Turkish Berliner in a reunited city. Which one are you talking about, Tara? I'd say the second one is not so
Not
sportsy,
sports-themed.
but the bull riding I think definitely counts.
Yeah, I think those are great, Tara. Thank you so much for your response. I love dodgeball, and I'm giving you 2 gold stars for The Knight's Tale.
Yes. Barb.
My mom.
She technically
My mom.
correctly answered the question. It feels a little cheaty, but she said Rocky 2, Rocky 3, and then she moved on to Secretariat. I'm pretty sure there's a Rocky 4, Field of Dreams, and A League of Their Own.
Wow, I love that Secretariat got in there. That doesn't enter the list anywhere else. I love it.
Oh, it's a unique. Yes.
Yeah, it's unique. It's about horses.
Nice.
Kurt said Mighty Ducks, fantastic. Never saw it, but I really like the idea of it.
Okay.
A League of Their Own, Remember the Titans, Space Jam.
Nice
now that is a
one.
great
Yep.
one. Karate Kid, Waterboy. Okay, Waterboy definitely. Karate Kid, it is. He knows. He's a dojo man. And so Kurt would know that
I think
is
that is
definitely
sports-themed. Yes.
super sports themed. And we love it. Great job, Kurt.
And then Brian said the air up there. I would assume basketball maybe because they're tall.
They're jumping.
McFarland. No idea. Seth MacFarlane. McFarlane USA. That's the title. McFarland USA. Never heard of it. The Replacements. That sounds like gangsters, but maybe they're replacing people.
Maybe
on
they're
a
second
team.
stringers.
Major
stringers.
League. $1 Million Arm. Okay, so I was thinking like $1 Million Man or like a robot, like a the sounds they make.
Yeah.
Were you about to do it?
No.
Oh man.
I know. I was.
But it's probably that he's so good that his arm's worth $1 million. And then Gus. So those are really unique.
Those are
Major League we
very-
got on there, but
And so we said that Secretariat was unique, and all of Brian's list is unique. Well, not Major League, but
yeah, so unique that we'd probably have to Google them to make sure they're real before
Yeah.
we put you in the hat.
yeah, we don't know. You're kind of along the lines of Adam there. We have no idea. So Amber, you've got some movies.
Yeah, so before, at the very end of our recording 25 weeks ago, I made my own list before I saw anybody else's answers just to see what I would come up with. And I came up with Happy Gilmore, Rudy, Hoosier,
I think it's Hoosiers, but carry on.
okay, $1 Million Baby, Rocky, and Field of Dreams.
So $1 Million Baby, is that the one where the kid wins Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
No. What is that one called? This one is Hilary Swank is a boxer.
Oh, right. Let me just, Amber, you talk a minute. I'm going to Google this.
There's so many things we could have Googled before now, but we're going to Google this. Who wants to be, it's like a Indian who wants to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Slumdog.
Millionaire.
Nice.
What
that's
came
not
up?
really sportsy, though. That's trivia based.
What came up with How to Marry a Millionaire, 1953 comedy romance.
Okay. It would be a fun trivia question to try to name 6 movies that are trivia themed. That would be one.
Schatz Page, Logo Dempsey, and Paula Debevoise are 3 women on a mission. They all want to marry a millionaire. To accomplish this task, they move into a fancy New York City apartment and begin courting the city's elite. They have no problems meeting rich men, but unfortunately, most of them turn out to be creeps or cons. Eventually, they must decide, is a life of luxury more important to them than finding true love? I bet they go with true love.
I bet at least one of the 3 goes with money, and it's sad.
And it's sad. But how sad could they be?
Right.
You know. So my answers, Amber, were Field of Dreams, Rudy. Did that come up
Yeah,
anywhere?
that's on mine.
Okay. Oh, nice. $1 Million Baby, because I love Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Tom Hanks Ladies Baseball is what I wrote here.
Okay. There's no crying in Tom Hanks Ladies Baseball.
Happy Gilmore and Dodgeball.
Ooh, I love that Dodgeball's in there. That's great.
I thought I would be unique with Dodgeball, but
Tara
had it.
gotcha.
Good job. Tara and I have a lot in common, actually. Okay, Amber, why don't you lay on us this week's Play Along at Home question?
Okay. I know you love it when I hammer in the rules about this.
Yeah, we all want to know how it works.
So we are using a game called Geek Squad.
That Dogfish Head Ale just went straight to her head.
Oh, it's called Geek Out.
Geek out.
And there's no right answers. There are right answers.
Oh my gosh. The question tells you how the thing works. Everybody gets it. Nobody doesn't get it. Oh, it looks like she's sad, but she's crying. Happy crying.
So here's the thing. So when we first got this game, I don't like that you can't ask somebody a question and then look at the card and see if they got the right answer. Mm-hmm. There's no flipping the card over and there's the answers we're going for on the back. Mm-hmm. That's what I want, so I know I got it right. Mm-hmm. But this is not that kind of game. This is a game where it just asks you to name things in a category. Yeah. And then we just have to trust that you're not going to Google them.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you Google them, it doesn't count.
It doesn't count, and we'll know.
If you Google them, that's how you come up with McFarlane USA. But it would be fun if you try to think outside the box with your answers.
Outside. So we want both.
So what we're going to do this time, it's I don't know what category that is.
Is it connected to next week's trivia?
No, I don't even know what next week's trivia is. It'd be cool if it was.
Well, hold on. Let's see if it is. Geography and travel.
It is!
Oh!
That's so exciting! Oh my
gosh! Come on!
Whoa. Okay, the question is name 4 fictional cities which appear in television shows.
4 fictional cities that appear in television shows.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm excited about hearing these. You want me to come up with the responses right now?
No.
Okay. I'm excited about that. That's a great one. Amber, can you read the question one more time?
Yes. I would like people to come up with
oh my gosh.
4 fictional cities which appear in television shows.
And so you're saying there's only 4.
Yeah, please make sure you find the 4 that are written on the back of this card so we know that you're right.
Oh my goodness. So you can answer our question on Facebook or Instagram or by sending us an email at segmentscast@gmail.com. Most people, Amy, respond. Oh, no, actually, we got a bunch of responses
to that trivia back in June. Yeah.
Yeah, on Facebook. Have we ever gotten a response on Instagram?
I think once long ago, not recently.
Okay. Yeah, so Facebook's the place to go.
Facebook's the place to go.
Yeah.
Is
Facebook a dumpster fire right now? Yes. But just kind of dodge, the angry political attacks and get to the Segments Facebook page, and it's just a happy little peaceful nonpartisan place that we live in.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. We would love to hear from you. Leave feedback on this episode on Instagram or Facebook at SegmentsCast or via email segmentscast@gmail.com or on the episode page segments.libsyn.com.
And please look us up and subscribe on your podcast player of choice. Also, share the show with others. All those trivia heads that you're hanging out with.
That's right.
They're missing their own pub trivia, and they could prove their superiority by playing along with us.
Exactly.
The only way new people find out about the show is through you guys. And Amber and I are hoping to quit our jobs and do this full time. So just see what you can do there. Thank you to Emma for the logo and graphics.
And thank you to EDM Samurai for our intro and outro music.
Okay. So I hope that you swish the basket
of the netball in the middle of the court. At Wimbledon.
Wimbledon.
It does sound like a Disney.
Okay. I said I only know one.
Me too.
Wimbledon.
That's what I also said.
No,
did we spell it the same?
You said you said Wimbledon.
the only difference is a D.
There's so many differences. Wibbleton is like a town that is from a Disney child's animation TV show with Wibbletown.
Oh no!
Yeah, so guys, I have a real chance here. Dang it!